Welcome back to BBarbstat&fact. I'm your host, Brian Barbeau. Let's get to it. So I'm going to indulge a little bit more into the 1917 season, wherein the Toronto Maple Leafs were called the Toronto Arenas. They lost 10-9 in their inaugural game, December 19th, 1917, to 10-9 to the Montreal Wanderers, which later they transitioned into the Montreal Canadiens. Their first ever goal, franchise's goal, was scored by Reg Noble. He would later go on to record 4 goals in that game. So he recorded their first ever goal and their first ever hat trick. So pretty amazing accomplishment to do in his first ever game. So, yeah. The first assist ever also occurred in the same game was by Corb Delaney. And their first penalty ever committed was also featured in the same game by Reg Noble. He committed a 3-minute minor infraction. Yeah, they didn't really specify the penalties back then. It was just infraction. And the penalties were 3 minutes, by the way, not 2 minutes. So, their biggest margin of victory was 11-4 against the Ottawa Senators the following game on December 21st, 1917. And their largest loss was February 2nd, 1918 against the Montreal Canadiens in an 11-2 blowout. Yeah. Not a good night there. The first ever game that went to overtime, February 20th, 1918, against the Montreal Canadiens in a 5. Unfortunately, that game didn't go our way either. What do they ever do? They lost 5-4 in overtime. Again. So, their Stanley Cup winning goalie that year was Hap Holmes. They landed up 13-9 and ultimately won the Stanley Cup, their inaugural Stanley Cup, against the Montreal Canadiens. So, now I want to transition and profile one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Toronto Maple Leaf ever, my man, Mats Sundin. And yes, I even have his hockey card. Mats Sundin. 420 goals, 567 assists, 987 points in 981 games. And he became the first Swedish-born player to reach 500 goals. And he's the only Swedish-born player to have ever scored 500 goals. Pretty amazing accomplishment. What a stupendous career, to say the least. And now I'm going to mention a few memorable games, more notable games in his career. How about the night of March 10th, 2003, against the Edmonton Oilers? Mats Sundin came around behind the net, backhanded by Sammy Salo. What was the special significance of that goal? He recorded his 1,000th career point. Yeah, pretty amazing stuff. How about April 11th, 2006? The Leafs find themselves down 2-0 right off the bat. And then Mats Sundin slap shots it by Jamie Noodles McLennan. You know Jamie Noodles McLennan from Overdrive. Makes it 2-1. Gets his first goal there. Second goal ties the game. Then the Leafs find themselves down 3-2 when Mats Sundin centers in front of the net to Nick Antropov, and he ties the game. Leafs also, and then they find themselves trailing 4-3, and Mats Sundin gets a pass in front of the net. One time's at home, beats Jamie McLennan, ties the game. Mats Sundin gets his hat trick. And then in overtime, Mats Sundin from behind the net, centers in front to Thomas Caberlet, scores. Leafs win 6-5. Mats Sundin records 4 goals, 2 assists for 6 points. It was a career night for him in points. I can give you my Joe Bowen impression. Joe Bowen is the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs and arguably one of the greatest commentators of all time. Yeah. Well, at least in Leafs history. There's in front of the net. Sundins got my sword! Holy mackerel! Leafs win in overtime! Mats Sundins records a 6-point. Yeah. So, another memorable night, May 28th, 2002. The Leafs are in Game 6, trailing 1-0 late in the third period against the Carolina Hurricanes. Down 1-0. Mats Sundins in front of the net. There's a rebound circulating. He puts it home. It's tied 1-1. Unfortunately, the Leafs go on to lose 2-1 in overtime. And lose Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Final against the Carolina Hurricanes. So, what else? Oh, yes. And probably the most memorable night of his career. On October 4th, 2006, Mats Sundins scores his 500th career goal in overtime, walking over the blue line, blowing a slap shot right by Mika Kiprusoff's glove. 500th career goal. So I witnessed him score his 500th goal and get his 1,000th career point. He's twice scored 41 goals as his career high. Once in 1997, and the other 2001, 2002. In 96, 97, he had 41 goals, 53 assists for 94 points. That is his career in goals, assists, and points. Trifecta. The greatest Leaf of all time. Hands down. And then October 11, 2007, a game against the Islanders in which the Leafs were just eviscerating the New York Islanders. Mats Sundins comes in over the blue line, throws one on net, beats Wade Dublowitz, and that, my friends, that special significant moment was where Mats Sundins eclipsed Daryl Sittler for most goals scored in franchise history with his 390th goal of his coveted career in Toronto. So, just a stupendous career. Like I said, my favorite Leaf of all time. Yeah, and it was sad to see him go. He was captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs for 11 seasons. Yeah. Pretty stupendous career. So, anyway, that is it for this video. That's your ball game. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did producing it. I will be posting another video in the foreseeable future. Stay tuned for that. If you happen upon this video, click like. Click the subscribe button if you really like it. Tell all your friends, family members, whatnot, what have you. Leave a comment down below if you're interested. Yeah, and that's it for this video. Profiling Mats Sundins. So, until then, bye for now.